Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. I hope you guys are doing well.
Yes, hello there.
So, Zeke is a little bit nervous. He's been shaking. There's a lot of energy here, and there's a lot that happened where we are, which we can't give exact details just because we're always being tracked. And that's the truth of it. Um, we wanted to talk about the reality of this interdimensional galactic war. There's really no other word for it. That's underway, and just how so many of our myths, legends, folklore, and Sassy's here, by the way, too. They're based on reality. They're based on reality, guys. And we could put different labels on different things. We could talk about Satan and his minions. We could talk about aliens, extraterrestrials, gray, zeta reticulans, draconians, reptilian hybrids, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans. We could also talk about fairy folk and elves and brown elves and dwarves and all sorts of elemental beings. All these things exist. Some people will name them one thing, other people will name them other things. And the reality is, though, that they are real, because this entire multiverse that we're in is all about consciousness exploring its creation.
And it's so important to remember that they have the ability to manipulate our lives unless we know about them. Now, if we know about them, we can call in our own power and protect ourselves. But these things are very real. They mess with your daily life. If you think you lose your keys or you think something feels off, I promise you, something is messing with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we might take to be, that's just a strange coincidence, or that's just bad luck. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in luck at all. I think everything is all really a law of cause and effect, karma, and then there is interference by these other beings. One thing that we've noticed lately with the people that we've been working on, and we drove damn near close to 2,000 miles, in the last 4 days, 5 days now. And we've managed to see 15 or so people as well for energy work, is that people are seeing these things now in mass. They're seeing them in mass, and actually quite a few have actually just outright seen reptilian entities that seem to be playing with people's heads, playing with their psyche, and showing themselves openly.
Well, they do that, and they also pit people against each other. They might put thoughts in your head to have these questioning things for a dear friend that you had, and it might manipulate you into thinking really bad things about people, and therefore it's manipulating your entire life. So a lot of times these thoughts that we have, they're not even ours.
Yeah, they can put them in our head. And before I go any further, I just want to ask you guys for your prayers for a dear friend of ours. So please send healing energy to Leah. And right now she's in the emergency room, and we don't know exactly what's going on, so we're waiting to hear. She's one of the people that I've spoken about before. And when I first moved to a new area one time, she said, well, come and stay with us. And we did. And been close friends ever since. And she's been clinically dead. She's one of those people I've talked about that has been clinically dead and was embraced by absolute love. She took it to be the energy of Yeshua, and it's changed her life. And she has some perceptions and some gifts that are rather unique. She's also one of those people that can actually look at and commune to the stars, actually exchange thoughts with the stars themselves, as we had talked about that, because the stars themselves are beings. So yeah, please do send healing prayers to her and her family right now as she's in the emergency room. And we will join you in that and sending that positive healing energy to her.
And it does seem like, overall, there's some sort of a dark force getting to people that are light workers. A lot of people getting infections, a lot of people having health problems, and it just sort of seemed to happen all of a sudden, just like wham, wow. So we should all work on healing each other, sending out that healing vibration to all the light workers out there, so that we may have more of a smooth process, doing our mission.
Yeah, exactly. And for us, it does feel like we are constantly being assaulted because of what we do. The fact that we're helping people wake up, and we're healing people, we're helping people heal themselves, and we're fighting back against the darkness. On a typical week, now we're probably seeing, anywhere from 30 to 50 people a week in between videos, sometimes more, and they're bettering themselves. Their energy is shifting. We're getting rid of dark entities, and they're changing their lives and their path, and they're coming online because the light workers are to be activated right now. This is the key time. This is why so many people incarnated in the first place. They incarnated basically to be here now and to help push the darkness back as we head deeper out of the dark age and heading into the new era where we will shed this darkness that's upon the earth and move forward into more of a unity consciousness and a world that's more heart-centered, heart chakra centered. So there was somebody that has made a couple of kind of snide remarks, I guess, in the past, and was saying, how come you guys don't ever show any pictures of these encounters that you have? Well, if you've been following the channel, you've seen plenty of photos. We've gotten real close-ups of drones and different ships. We've, between the two channels, done over 3,000 videos with tens of millions of views between the two of them, which we know is suppressed as well, as the numbers are not the real numbers that they're showing. But we do have some interesting photos, thanks to Mark J., who does amazing camera work. He took the last video we did, and we saw comments where multiple people saw this kind of fire-like being come out and head towards the flock of goats and sheep that we were watching in the last video. Well, horrible to say, there was 10 goats that were slaughtered right when we were making that video on the other side of that pond. And that, again, is an attack by these dark forces. And there are photos that we're going to share with you in the next video, or it might be the video before this, depending on how long it takes to upload, as we never know how good the Wi-Fi is going to be or the signal on the road. But you could clearly see a being that I know if there was anybody out there that was a Muslim, they would say, that's a jinn, that's a jinn. Because it does look like a jinn. Cindy gets the feeling that it might be a gray kind of shifting itself and changing.
Well, one of those pictures that Mark blew up does, to me, it looks exactly like the gray that watches us. And it was kind of like a moment where, okay, now I know what this bugger does. This thing is around us, and it creates problems, and now I do have it on camera. And it does morph, and it did look like a fireball. And those animals in the picture, they were definitely afraid of it, because it was morphing. But I don't know if in our legends, were we saying that the grays are the jinn or the jinn are the grays? I don't know. I just know that this entity looks like the gray that watches us.
Yeah, most definitely there are beings that can shapeshift. That's something that we've experienced and seen, and even morph in and out of being as well. So I'll share those pictures with you. And as I said before, we've gotten so many videos and photos. When we were in Nevada, we saw a draconian probe just go right by. Classic UFO and shared that with you guys and blew up the photos, and it was pretty damn clear to see. Most people didn't even doubt it. Of course, you'll have your skeptics, and then you have your paid people by the powers that be to disprove anything that will expose them. That's just par for the course. There will always be that. Like we always see, as soon as we post a video, there's 10 links on there going to a naughty site. And I know who's doing it. It's the powers that be that's doing it. It's not really, somebody that's just trying to spam for money. No. There's agenda underway. Same thing with, there are people, even people in this EEA family that we know, are not really on the EEA family. They're actually here to infiltrate and to cause dissension.
Absolutely, and they're very much controlled by the darker forces. Darker forces saying, hey, do this, hey, do that, cause them trouble, cause them grief. And we know that anyone genuinely in our circle would never in a million years cause us grief. They just wouldn't. So that leaves these entities putting more thoughts in people's heads and it's just slowing down everybody's ascension. Even though ascension's going to happen, it's going to happen, but I just don't think it has to be so bumpy.
And see, the big thing is too, we're coming online. People are developing their powers. They're developing their ability. Can you imagine when the vast majority of the population has the ability to see an aura? And you're talking to somebody, and all of a sudden that aura goes from being golden to maybe red, and you've triggered them. They're angry, or you see it change into a different color, maybe a shade of gray. And this is the type of thing that we could see right now because we're activated, and this is why that flying triangle, we feel, spotted us and flew alongside us. And I'll post the photos that we have as soon as we're able to, maybe with this next video. Unfortunately, Cindy panicked so fast. It was 8 o'clock at night, something like that, and it was dark, and we're doing 65 down a dark winding road, country road, 65 with the trailer in a territory we don't know. And Cindy's fumbling for her phone, and she ends up basically getting her fingers more than anything, but you can see it. The thing that sticks out to me was the blue lights on it, because they were more blue lights in the corners, and there was, I think, a red light in the middle, but it happened. I could see it, and I'm driving at 60-ish, with the trailer down a windy road, and I could feel it and sense it, and Cindy was just amazed watching it.
Well, yeah, because it was so close to us, and the window was down, and the darn thing was silent, and you just had to look out and up a little bit, and it's just right there.
Right. And so, like the guy's comment, was like, how come you never get photos? And again, we have shared tons of photos with you guys. You that have actually watched for a long time will know that we've shared a lot of photos with you. Right now, all those photos are far away from us because, we're out and about. But we will have photos to show you. And we've had a lot of strange encounters, but you got to recognize there's tremendous technology out there that most people maybe are suspicious that is out there. There's different facial recognition technology that's out there right now that can, say exactly who you are. But there's even more than that. They could look at your energy body. They could look at your chakras, and they could say, okay, this one's asleep, that one's asleep, this one's asleep. Whoa, what's going on there? This one has activated Kundalini. This is one that could be a problem. Let's, mark them down, and we'll keep track of them. It's very much like, I guess, what you would see with the, and I'm not even sure, is it the Marvel ones with, Magneto and all those, the superheroes, and how the mutants, quote unquote, get persecuted. Well, that's kind of what we're going through to a lesser degree. Maybe people aren't going to be flying literally through the air or, lifting cars up with one finger. but their intuitive abilities, their psychic abilities, their perceptive abilities are going to be going through the roof. And you're going to have people that have gone along with all the official ways and means, including exactly what's happening on the planet right now. And while I'm thinking about that, I'll send out prayers and best wishes to the family of Marvin Hagler. I used to watch boxing with my dad before MMA came into vogue, and marvelous Marvin Hagler was a hell of a boxer. And if you guys don't know, he passed on. He was only 66. And go read the news article, and you'll know what I'm talking about in the bigger scheme of things. But there are those that are going to be going along with everything, and they're going to remain, well, the walking dead, so to speak. They're going to be zombified. They're going to be perfect sheeple that'll be able to be controlled until the end of this age. And then there are those that are going to be like us, and, no matter what happens, we will never do that. And so we will... If it means we're going to have to keep on the move, then we'll keep on the move. If we got to go to Alaska or the Yukon, then we'll go to Alaska or the Yukon, or we'll go, down to Patagonia or wherever, and just, live in the woods somewhere. Because, we'll never allow ourselves to be lowered in vibration.
No, that can't happen. And I do think we're all going through a bit of a vibration change. And we're moving up in vibration, and then people seem to be having a lot of physical issues. So I think there's a blanket of things going on right now, and it's basically targeted to light workers, and giving them a hard time, making it difficult for them to fulfill their mission or even focus on themselves. I think that's the whole point, is to break people's focus, so that, if the abilities are coming in, you're not going to be able to practice them or use them because you're going to be busy taking care of yourself, because either you're sick or you have financial problems or your house is too hectic or people are getting to you, but it's important to remember that we are going to be given a hard time, and to put that much extra focus on yourself so you can fulfill your mission.
And on that note, we will leave you with this one. And as always, guys, thanks for being part of the family. Make sure you are subscribed. I know it's been a while since we've uploaded anything to Bitchute or Brighteon, since we're on the road. Hopefully we'll get caught up at some point, maybe a while, because we have a lot of driving still ahead of us. As always, thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.